Well, let's have a look at this man. John Paul II appeared a record 16 times on the cover of Time magazine. There he is once, and there are the others. That's quite phenomenal. Newsweek, remember, said under John Paul II helped bring down the Iron Curtain, the Holy See gained more political clout than it had enjoyed since the Renaissance. And the BBC said the Pope was the only one to be a world evangelist. He could visit all faiths, Islam and Judaism. He prepared the way for a religious new world order. Now, I would like to know what the moral dictates of this religious new world order would be. The Bible already said what would happen. Let's go and find out. And the forum whereby it will take place, or wherein it will take place, will be the United Nations headquarters. Now, we've held that lecture already, but I'll show you some thunderous quotes which might just make us sit up. Here was the meeting where the Pope attended the United Nations, and Boutros Ghali was still there as the Secretary General, and they brought him in, and he spoke on behalf of all the religions of the world, because the Dalai Lama had said, I cannot wait for the day when the Pope in Rome speaks on behalf of all the religions in the United Nations. This was the day. His Holiness Pope John Paul II at the United Nations 50th anniversary. Now listen to what Robert Mueller says, this mover and shaker and former Under-Secretary General of the United Nations. And God saw that all the nations of the earth, black and white, rich and poor, from north or south, from east and west, and of all creeds, were sending their emissaries to a tall glass house, that is the UN headquarters, on the shores of the river of the rising sun. Fascinating language. On the island of Manhattan, to stand together, to think together, to care together for the world and all its people. And God said, that is good. And it was the first day of the new age of the earth. Whoa, this is scary. These people think they have it made, but God's got it in the bag. He's already said it would happen. Remember, Alice A. Bailey said there will not be any dissociation between the Universal Church, the sacred lodge of all true Masons, and the inner circle of the esoteric societies. So all of these will come together. Catholicism will merge with Protestantism, will merge with spiritualism in one conglomerate. And whoever doesn't want to go along with this will have to suffer the consequences. By 1999, you will remember at the interfaith meeting where they all came together, they elected the Pope as leader. All religions were there. There were Protestants, there were Catholics, there were Hindus, there were all of them, Zoroastrians, there were Muslims, everyone. And the Christian fundamentalist is the one that should be condemned. All present were in accord on two key points. Pope John Paul II was endorsed by consensus as the planet's chief spiritual guide and overseer over a conglomerate religion which includes spiritualism, Luciferian worship. And religious fundamentalists who refuse to go along with the global ecumenical movement are to be silenced. There will be no room for them. They must be denounced as dangerous extremists full of hate. This word comes up again and again and again. They're called dangerous extremists full of hate, the new fascists, Christo-fascists. There are a whole host of names for them. Really interesting stuff. And then the new laws, of course, dealing with this are called what? Hate speech laws. So the laws are already there.